I need you guys to understand that being of a high frequency or being spiritual, for lack of a better word, doesn't have a appearance. It doesn't have a certain look. Okay? So I notice that a lot of people judge, especially a lot of people who are on platforms, rappers, singers, entertainers. A lot of people judge, say, oh, they're not really, high frequency, or oh, they're not really tapped in, just by their appearance or by their story or by their profession. And I feel like that's the biggest mistake you can make, is to assume that someone isn't something spiritually by their appearance or by their line of work. You don't know that person. You don't know what type of initiations, growth. And when I say initiations, that could be just spiritually, like their own, like personal initiation with spirit, or actual, ritualistic, initiations. And don't jump to the, oh, it's evil. No, it's not evil. Well, there's good and bad in all things, people say, but don't jump to conclusions. Okay, don't jump to conclusions, because some of your most gangster rappers are actually quite tapped in. Okay, and through their music, they're sharing their pain, they're transmuting energy via their craft, and they're sharing their story, which might seem rough, rigid, aggressive to someone who's never experienced that lifestyle. But if you listen to them, deeply without judgment, then you see that they're sharing their backstory, and they're sharing with you how things are, where they were raised or what they went through, and where they are now and what they're growing and going through. So I just highly advise some of you to stop judging folks. Okay, stop judging people from about, how do I say this? Stop judging where people come from or what they do, and just focus on you. If you're inspired, be inspired. If you're not, that's cool. But don't assume that people aren't tapped in just because they're not yoga instructors, or they're not, in all white meditating. Like, don't get it twisted. Someone who's personally worked at a yoga studio, I've met people who are some of the top yoga instructors, and they are not at all tapped in spiritually. So it does not have a look. Spirituality does not have a look. It does not have an appearance. Just because someone has a bunch of mala beads and they're wearing all white doesn't mean that they're tapped in like that. So I'm just saying, don't judge. They could be, they may not. They say angels come in disguises. So just pay attention. Stop judging. If you're inspired, be inspired. And don't ever judge.